Blacksmith, kind of like a beginner's guide. Just share with all of you things I've learned and mistakes I've made while playing this game. So let's get into it. So when you first meet the character, the blacksmith will give you a short tutorial. She'll go over like each of the categories and things like that. So for the more basic ones, I'm not going to go into too much details, but so we gotta buy and sell. She's got stuff here for sale, various stuff, items. You can actually replenish your arrows and all your basic ammunition over here, which is good. This Book of Reincarnation, it's like a character reset item. It resets your character, but you can, like, I guess spec your character again in another way. I haven't bought one yet, as you can see, because I don't have any money. I just spent a whole bunch of gold on something else. But I'm wondering if you buy this, if it'll get more and more expensive, which I think it will. Typically, in other games like Dark Souls, it does do that. So this is special finds here. So these are special items that you can see blue or purple items here. You can actually, I think at the beginning there's only 3. You can actually upgrade it to have more special finds here. And this is the buyback. If you sold something that you want to get back, you can do it without any repercussions, which is great. So next, let's see here. What is the... Okay. Excuse me. We got hair. You actually need to unlock this. This option here will be grayed out to you when you first start the game. So basically, as you do more stuff, as you disassemble stuff, if you buy more stuff from her and things like that, eventually she will give you an option to do so. So for example, this is where you go. I have a request for Tome. So you see here, Parnage level is 0. So when you level up the Parnage, you actually have a point that you can put in. So it wouldn't really show anything over here for the actually for the barber, because I already unlocked it. But as you can see here, additional stock, you know, increase special finds by 1, sell price markup. Like these are all things you can upgrade, so to speak, for the blacksmith. So yeah, you can unlock this. You can change the hairstyle, you can change the beard, you know, different look, things like that. But not too much choices. I wonder if later on there might be more, but yeah, for now at least you can sort of have a different look. But you can't really color Willem's hair. That's one of the things I didn't really like. I would like to have another color. So yeah, the next thing I want to talk about is disassemble. So when you go on quest, it's very tempting to, when you're doing the quest where you get a whole bunch of items, to make offering. This one here in the shrine, basically you put items forward, you make your offering, things like that, and then you can actually get things back, like elixirs and things like that. But what I recommend is what I do is, for all the white items, like see these are like white and yellow, see these yellow, white and yellow items, nothing above blue. Like for all those white and yellow items, I'll make the offering, I can consider. But everything else, even if you don't need it, save it, because what you can do is you can come here to blacksmith, you can disassemble them. So for example, if I disassemble this item, it will show you on the right hand side what you get, right? So let's take a look here. This hand cannon. So on the right hand side, materials that can be acquired. So ingot, it will give you 3 ingot, and which ones? 3 blue ones and 1 spirit iron chunk. So you can imagine, if you keep disassembling these things, you have a lot of you know, raw materials, really good raw materials that you can use to craft different items and things like that. I think it's the same as here. When you disassemble armor, things like that. It'll give you materials to craft armor. Another thing that I recommend that you can start as soon as possible, so you don't have to really farm items later, is when you go to the shrine, when you receive the Kadama blessing, pick the Hunter blessing. Increase drop rate of materials. That helps a bit, because enemies that you kill, they do drop things like high quality leather, like high quality ore, things like that. So that helps with the whole process. So back to the blacksmith. Once you can actually go through the list here with triangle button to mark them down. You can mark multiple items down, and at the same time you can disassemble all of them at once. So once you get all that, you might be thinking, okay, you know what, now I have stuff, I can go and forge stuff, right? But in the beginning you might not be able to do so, and you might be wondering why. But what you need to do is you need to, after you disassemble a lot of stuff, every now and then you need to go to the forge, you need to go to tools. It's a bit confusing, but when you press R1, excuse me, R1 L1, see, you can switch between tools and materials. So yeah, this is one of the things about this game. Some of the stuff isn't too apparent, so that's where you want to go. And these are all grayed out right now because I don't have enough materials for them. But I say every 2 missions or so, come over here, keep crafting these things until you can't craft anymore, and save up on them. And once you do, then you can start crafting different weapons and armor. So as you can see here, I have a lot of different types of spears and swords, katanas that I can craft. So in the beginning you wouldn't have too much. I wouldn't really recommend crafting anything until later on when you get a few blacksmith, sort of like a crafting recipe. So for example, this one here, Rakiri, is one of the katanas that you get in one of the missions. I can actually craft one. So you get one for the mission, but you can craft one yourself, maybe with a better maybe better specs and things like that, because some of the specs are randomized. So another confusing part is, for example, if I want to craft a Rakiri, so what is this? What is going on here, right? So let me show you how to read this. So on the right hand side it says require materials. You require 6 pieces of ore. Okay, so you might be thinking, why is there like a screen in the middle? What is that all about? And when you press X, you can actually get in here and you can move stuff around. So the game automatically would choose the best materials for you. So you can see here it chose 6 ultra rare ores for me, so I can craft an ultra rare katana. But you can pick if you want. You can have different you can even have the most basic ore here if you want. But the thing that confused me when I started this game is how come it'll give me the choice to pick this, like what is going on, but the game actually picks for you, so that's fine. So you already have 6 of that, and I have the Demon's Horn as one of the items, and you can actually go ahead and forge. So once you forge it, the item should be the attack between 280 to 312, and it'll have special effects, but it'll have a few random special effects as well. And if you take a look at the familiarity, it's only 1 bar. Not to worry about that too much, because it's only showing you the basic. If you can see the Rakiri, the actual text in the middle for that sword, the name, it's in white. So don't worry about it. If you have the best materials, or if you have better materials when you craft it, that familiarity bar will be higher. Okay, so yeah, so basically, you can craft different weapons and stuff like that. You'll probably find better weapons out in the field for quite a bit of time. And but once you save up all the materials, and eventually you get a few cool recipes like Rakiri, you can actually sort of craft better weapons for yourself. So that's what the crafting is. The same thing for armor. You can take a look. There's different, when you get the different recipes, see the Red of Devotion. This one is actually, I think it's a DLC. Nioh Incarnate. These are like DLC items, that bonuses that you get originally when you order the game. But just show you an example here. Oh, maybe I don't have one. Yeah, but as you get different recipes, see this one, Tactician's Ingenuity. That one is from a quest, so you can actually craft a set that has a special thing, a special effect. So if you press L2 here, it will show you Tactician's Ingenuity. So the more pieces you have, the more bonuses you get. So you can see in the bottom, in the middle there, 2 pieces, 3 pieces, get treasure sands, 4 pieces, close combat damage, etc. So you come across these items quite often as you move through the game. This is another one, the Heroic Raging Bull. So you see there's different bonuses and stuff. And of course tools, you can craft the fire amulets and things like that, and you get more recipes as you go. I only have the yokai water pot, but as you progress through the game, I guess you can craft more stuff. And these stuff are also from the magic skills level, the Nioh magic. You can actually also prepare like talismans and stuff over here too. So I don't know what the difference is. I guess it doesn't cost you any material when you do it through, you know, the preparation, just through preparation. So the next important stuff I want to talk about, which confuses me quite a bit, is soul match. Okay, so what is soul match, right? So say you have a weapon that's like lower level. For example, I'm gonna pick one here. The spear is level 20, right? And I love this weapon. I love this spear, and it's got all the stats and stuff like that that I like. So it just so happened, you know, it's got parry, it's got, you know, earth damage. That's awesome, right? But the damage is only 221, and as you can see, a lot of my other current weapons, the level is like 42, so it's not even close to that. So how do I, like, is there any way for me to level up this weapon? And this is exactly what it is. That's what soul matching does. So for example, I can pick this. So I want to keep this spear, but I want to up the damage. I want to level it up to like level 40 something. I can't do that. So you can actually pick, well, a lot of things are great because I have them locked. When you press square, you lock them. So things that are locked, you might not be able to use. Actually, you can't use. And also things that you have equipped, you can use them as a material. So for example, I have this one. This spear is level 42, right? So you can see on the right hand side, the result is it will change the spear that I want to keep to level 42, and the damage is increased to 284. That's great. But the thing is, the familiarity would be reset, and that's another thing I want to talk about. What is familiarity? So you can see the bottom right hand side there costs quite a bit of gold to do that. I've been saving up a lot of gold in the beginning. I've been doing a lot of crafting and stuff, but now I'm sort of, ironically, I need to farm for more gold to upgrade my weapons. So so let's give you another example. Soul matching also does something else, and what it does is it can actually add statuses to an existing weapon. So let's just find an example here. So let's just grab the spear, for example. Try to find. Okay, so you can see this in the middle there. That katana, Bisen Osfune. One of the special effects is low attack key reduction, 7.7%. So you see that special icon on the side, which is like an object. It points to another arrow and to another object. That means that special effects, it can be transferred to another item. So the key of doing that is you need both of these items. You need the you need the familiarity of Bisen Ofone to be full to transfer that special effect to the result, to this other weapon. So you can do that 2 ways. I mean, a few ways actually. One of the ways is to just use a weapon when you're playing. The more you use it, the familiarity bar goes up. The other way to do it quickly is to go into equipment. me show you an example here. Equip the weapon that you want to get the familiarity up. Go to items, look for the item whetstone. This one right here. So you see here, it restore, or is that restore the familiarity level? I'll get into that a bit. What does it mean by that? It's sort of confusing what it says, but it actually adds 150 familiarity. So if you have a whole bunch of whetstone, you know, you can go ahead and use it, and it will actually get the familiarity bar full, depending on you know, how big the bar is. The other way to do it is some weapons and also some armor. When you take a look at this special effect, it will actually say familiarity bonus. So those are items that can help you to get your familiarity up of an item quicker. So one of the things that I was thinking I was not aware of is, what does that mean? Like, you know, I just get my familiarity to max, so what? My best weapon that I like to use, and that's it. Like, why would I want that as an attribute in one of the special effects? So let me just equip back my katana there. So, okay. Anyway, so why would you want items that charges your familiarity quick or helps with that? So I'm going to show you this thing here. I was just looking at it yesterday, and this is probably one of the reasons why. Let me see down here. So this is under Omayu Magic. Go down here. Okay, so this row right here. So Shadow Round Talisman, right? So these things, these two are connected. You might not notice what the second one is, but if you take a look, you get this. You get the next one, Soul Release. Allows you to prepare one Soul Release Talisman. Reduces the familiarity of your equipped weapons to 0, transferring into Blades of Light that strike your enemies. So you can cast a spell with the familiarity of your weapon. That's sort of like the mana. And when I play the movie here, it looks pretty cool. Like, it's like a Y beam, like flying towards enemies. But the thing is, I don't know how powerful this thing is. It might be powerful, it might one-shot stuff, it might not. So I don't know if it's actually worth it or not. But there's 3 different levels, as you can see. So I guess if you guys want to try it, you can. You can, you know, equip stuff that boosts your familiarity, or you can use whetstones, bind it to one of your shortcuts for your items, and for boss fights, that might be something you want to do. So that's soul matching. So basically, let me show you something else. What else? Okay, so yeah, same thing as armor, you know. You can level your armor. Say I have this armor here that I want to use. It's 32, but I want to keep it, or I want to, you know, level it up. I can do the same thing. So refashion, of course, what it is you can pick an item, you can change the look of it. So say, you know, I want to change the look of the spear to something else. So as you play through the game, as you get more items and things like that, you can actually have more selection here. So same thing with armor. You know, for all of you that are fashion minded, this is great. You can pick your own you know, unique set of armor without having to keep the original look. So the next thing, last but not least, is Reforge. So what is Reforge? Reforge is to randomize one of the special effects on your weapon. So say I have this longbow, okay? Long range attack bonus, brick, Amarita urn. Say I don't like this. I don't like Amarita urn. Okay, I think it's useless. So I can actually reforge this to something else. You see on the right hand side, it's like fogged out. So you don't know what it is. It's randomized. But what you do need, you need item and gold. So on the bottom right, you see spirit iron chunk. You need 2 of those in this case. And there's a reforging cost too. So so once you reforge it, this will turn to something else. The third special effect. And you can keep doing this. You can get different special effects. Okay, you can sort of play around with it, but it will cost you gold and of course spare iron chunk. What I do notice is that after a few of them, like maybe 5 or 6 turns, it does come back to this emerald urn category. So I guess maybe inside is pre-programmed. There's certain settings that won't let the weapon become too overpowered. Some algorithms behind the scene that has a certain boundary for you to, to mess around with. So the same thing can be done for armor as well. If you don't like something, you can always change it. And yeah, that's about it. So I hope that helps you guys, and that you have a lot of different materials to craft a lot of cool weapons. So until next time, take care. Bye bye.